2012, The Cycle, Why Everything You've Heard is Bogus. December 21st, 2012, the most anticipated and hyped up date in time since the year 2000, or 1556, 1600, 1789, 1843, 1881, or even year 30. The last of which was a predicted apocalypse and Armageddon date by the King of Kings, Jesus Christ himself. Those are only the most popular and far-spread predictions and prophecies for the apocalypse and Armageddon, which even the most revered people believed. Based on 2,000 years of records alone, it's easy to guess that since humanity's existence, it's also been predicting its destruction. So let's ask ourselves, why is that? Why has humanity predicted its end since its beginning? These types of questions are always answered by a supposed professional or expert on the subject. I don't know how someone's supposed to be an expert on something that has occurred roughly over 10,000 years, where they haven't even existed for 100, and they're supposed to be an expert. I don't know why they can be called an expert. Don't ask me. So these experts, they claim that it's human nature to ask these questions and to be afraid of the end. And the reason why they claim it's human nature is because that's what they call anything that keeps happening over and over time, involving humans and what's around them. So now that I've gone through all that, here's what I've figured out. Here's the facts. We are consciousness, thrown into a human body and mind. In the first year or so of our lives, we realize that we are consciousness, and we are fascinated by this new world we're adventuring in. However, we've been thrown into a place that's new and mysterious to us, so we quickly have to conform to the crowd in order to survive. It's like when people start getting older. They at first keep on trying to live like they still have a young body, but it's not good for them to do so, and they can't really do so if they have an old body. So in order to survive, in order to live well, they conform to getting older, and their lifestyle changes. So eventually the baby conforms to society's depiction of humanity and forgets its pure consciousness past. So, here we are on Earth, without knowing why, how, what we need to do, who we truly are, and when. What I mean by when is when it ends, whether it's for us or for everyone. Now, as you've always been told, there are leaders and then there are followers. Currently, followers outpopulate leaders, as they usually do, which is generally not a good thing. The majority, the followers, either don't think about the end, or they think about it only when they're depressed, which, depending on who they are, might be a lot or might be a little. But the leaders, on the other hand, unfortunately, not only think about their end, but being the leaders they are, they pick up the slack of all the followers who don't think about their end, and therefore, instead of worrying about their own death, the leader only worrying about its own death, they worry about the death of humanity or the death of everything, because they get so worried about it. This is the source to all the prophecies you've ever heard about the end of the world. When a prophecy is told by anyone, it spreads like a pandemic. And again, this is because our society creates scared and unconfident people who loathe to hear but love to hear love to talk about the bad news. It gets worse when somebody produces so-called proof for their claims. The alleged proof surely gives them reason to worry, but that's because of a simple rule. And that rule is, if you look for it, you're going to find it. Whether it's there or not, if you're looking for something, you'll either find it or you'll find a cheap knockoff for it. So about now or sooner, most of you are thinking, what he's telling us is proof that the repeated apocalypse prophecies occurring over time are due to human nature. And I understand why you think that, and that's because it keeps happening. And everything like that, and you know what? You've got a good mind. In fact, you're very smart, you're very rational, you're very clever, but you're wrong. The reason that society teaches us what we already know, the reason is that society teaches us what we already know and then convinces us at the same time that we don't know it. So over time, this confusion builds up, and it pushes us away from our consciousness, which inevitably makes us susceptible to repeating the same mistakes. Here's a way to understand it. If your father, your grandfather, and your great-grandfather all died due to their addiction to alcohol, and you, who knows of this, choose to take the chance and drink alcohol anyway, and within 30 years you die, that isn't due to genetics or due to your family's nature. It's due to your idiocy and your inability to learn from the past events. History in general tends to repeat itself, but that isn't due to being humans. It's due to being idiots. Humanity, troubled by questions, tend to either take power or give power. The very religious, the patriotic, and the unconfident are all different, but also all the same. The same because they are all playing the part as the brainless slave. The religious are either mad or already writing an angry response right now. But let me ask you all a question. If Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, or whatever mirror-faced God you worship showed up, would you not hesitate to bow down and do whatever was commanded? Be honest to yourself. And what about the patriots of their countries? What about all you patriots? Surely a few of you are watching. In a time of crisis, would you not fight for your country like a warrior and follow your commanding officer's every order with little, if any, hesitation? And you, the very unconfident ones, I know without a doubt that a few of you are watching. Someone tells you off or makes fun of you, and inside you're devastated and shocked, and ultimately follow their underlining order to be upset and be strongly affected. That's what they want, and you follow the order. If you fit into any of those three categories, you need to find higher awareness and consciousness. If you don't fit into this category, then congratulations,